All right, enough Bodo. How about some quick hits instead?
Let's go, Gab.
No Kylian Mbappe, but Real Madrid advance as they beat Benfica 2-1, 3-1 on aggregate. Jules, they're not great,
No.
but they're good enough.
Yeah, just enough to go through. Courtois had to make some big saves again. I think we say that literally on every show or after every Real Madrid game. They did. Vini scored, which in a way, after what happened in the first leg, is
And it is a version of the celebration we saw, but he did it in front of his own fans, and he was smiling when he did it.
But I think it's justice in a way. I thought, to be fair, Benfica played well at times. I think it was really interesting. Some of the things that they did, considering Mourinho wasn't there, and then he was hiding, and there was a room where he was supposed to be, and nobody knew if he had arrived or not. I mean, it's one of those, Mourinho's moments, really. For Real Madrid, they could face City now or Sporting in the last 16. It's one of the two. Let's see if it's City. I still think that this team is struggling collectively, really.
You can go very far if you have a goalkeeper who saves everything and a striker who scores almost every game.
Striker who's injured, though.
But he's injured now, but he'll be back.
Well, they're hoping in 10 days, but in 2 weeks is the first leg of the last 16. So, yeah. Benfica, Gianluca Prestiani did not play as he was given a 1-game provisional suspension after Vinicius accused him of using a racist slur in the first leg. We talked a lot about this story, of course. And Gab, did that make sense to you, the suspension? Even if it's unprecedented, right? It's really rare for you.
Yeah, so look, I said this on the last show. There is no doubt, I was there based on what I said, that he racially abused. On the balance of probability, so I should say, no doubt, right?
He said something, definitely.
And I think there is an important precedent in UEFA. The fact that there's no witnesses doesn't make a difference. You remember the Glenn Kamara case?
Yeah.
He was racially abused, and the guy who abused him got 10 games.
Yeah.
And there was no evidence there either. I mean, no video evidence, right? So I think this is the way it's heading with Prestiani, and it's right, and maybe you should get more than 10.
Yeah.
In fact, were it up to me, I give more than 10 for some of the stupid things that he has said, such as justifying himself by saying that Vinicius called him a dwarf. Bro, you're short. Like, this is not, you were creating a moral equivalency between this. That version, which came out and then denied, and then was seemed to confirm that he used a gay slur. That was his defense rather than a racist one. Makes no difference. That's discriminatory language. In fact, you should get more games because you're stupid for thinking that this is a legitimate excuse. If you call Vinicius ugly, tell him that you went and you slept with his mother. You can get away with those things. You cannot use a gay slur, but whatever. All that said, I'm not comfortable. I think presumption of innocence is a massive legal principle. And I'm not comfortable preemptively banning somebody. Even in cases, even in like the real world, lawyers, like they will put you in jail and bail you out if there's a risk of you running away or you tampering with the evidence. There's no risk of that here. There is a 1 in a bazillion possibility that Vini says, "Oh yeah, no, maybe he's right. Maybe I misunderstood. I withdraw my charge," and then you can't get him the game back.
Yeah.
So much as it pains me, much as I don't like this guy. Partly because he says something racist, I believe, and partly because he's definitely something stupid. He's a very stupid individual. Throw the book at him, but I'm not comfortable with a 1-game suspension before he's been judged and gone through the process.
But I thought it was a disgrace from Benfica to take him on the plane. I know they appealed to that suspension, which was rejected on the day of the game, but I think Benfica should have read the room much better and left him at home anyway.
Read the room, exactly that. Just go out there and say, not the right frame of mind.
Exactly.
Atletico Madrid are also through with a resounding 4-1 win over Mr. Champions League, Hans van Aken and Bruges. Jules, it's a hat trick for the only living Sorlot in captivity. I've praised them enough this season. It's your turn.
Yeah, incredible season, especially since the turn of the year, really, when Alvarez had just dipped massively with his level. He took over, and when Griezmann is obviously older and on his way out as well, Solos took over and has been very good. He got a little bit lucky in these. The first goal, for example, should have never scored. But after that, he's efficient, which is something that we've said against him before, because he used to create chances or have chances to score and used to miss them, sometimes sitters. Remember the Barcelona game last season? And now he seems to have found a consistency in being quite clinical. So they need him badly because, as we said, Alvarez is going through really the worst patch of his career, I think. And there's not much more than Soroth really to score goals. I mean, great for Johnny Cardoso to score. He's a US men's national team player. We like him a lot.
Lukman says hi.
And Lukman has made a massive difference.
But not as a center forward, yeah.
But not as a center forward. So let's see where that goes. They will face Liverpool or Spurs, you know, in the last 16 Atletico Madrid. And I think if you're Liverpool and Spurs, you don't really want to face Soroth.
They have a lot of things to sort out. By the way, Soroth's non-penalty goals per minute are absolutely insane.
He's a chant, yeah.
He's not far from Mbappe.
Yeah. Incredible. Newcastle also threw against Karabakh, but Gab was the 3-2 scoreline. It's a win. Closer than you expected?
All right, they were obviously 6-1 up from the first leg.
Yeah.
I expected him, given how Newcastle have got to be absolutely drained and tired, given how many injuries they have, especially at the back, I expected him to play more kids, to be honest.
He still rotated quite a fair bit.
Not as much as I would expect. I was really surprised to see Byrne, who, by the way, was on a booking, out there starting the game.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I know you don't have other center defenders. There might be some dude from the youth team you can play, right? And Byrne gave up a penalty, incidentally, as well. It's a weird atmosphere. I think Eddie Howe probably felt that he owed a performance to the fans at home, and so he went for it. Happy for him. Karabakh, nowhere near as bad as the first leg. And I think they lead the Champions League with their head held high. Jules, we're not done. We have more quick hits.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, bro. I have to go there.
It's okay. We're through.
Defending champion Paris Saint-Germain came very close to crashing out against Monaco at home. In fact, if Wout Faes had even more hair than he does, this might have gone to extra time.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Another if. The most important, as Vincent Duluc in L'Equipe reminded us all this morning, is to qualify. I would have loved PSG to qualify by playing much better, a bit like last season. I don't know where this team has gone. It's not the same as last season, but in a way, it's never been this season. It's not like if they played really well and then suddenly don't play well. They haven't played well all season,
and it's the Club World Cup's fault.
There's a bit of that. No, there's a bit of that for sure. I don't think it helped. But it's just not them in midfield. They were certainly until the Koulibaly red card on the hour mark. They were dominated massively in midfield by a very good Monaco team. The 3-5-2 worked really well from Pocognoli. Well done to him. Akliouche, Paris born and bred, obviously, was on fire. Balogun, I thought, played really well. The midfield three of Bamba, Koulibaly, and Kamara was outstanding against.
Until Koulibaly got sent off.
Yeah. So I said, after the hour mark, that obviously changed it all. Because in the next minute, Marquinhos scored to make it 1-1. And after that, it was only PSG, even if the end was a little bit tensed. It's just, they won't win the Champions League again, this PSG team. I don't know how far they can go. It depends of the draw now. It's Barca or Chelsea for them in the next round. And after that, if you look at the bracket, it would be even more complicated because I think there's probably City or Real Madrid from that side, and then Bayern or Arsenal even. So it could be very tricky, but they're still in it.
I will cheer you up and give you a reason why I think they may well win the Champions League, and I wouldn't be so definitive about it, and a reason why they probably won't. One is Paris Saint-Germain have lost 6 games this season. 4 of those defeats have come against French clubs. They won't face any more French clubs. The only 2 teams that have beaten them this season are Sporting, and that was a game where Paris Saint-Germain deserved to win. You remember that game, the 2-1. And then the other one was against Bayern. Okay, admittedly, are pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be so negative. And they all have won. They've been there. They've done that. They're all a year older. Reason they won't win, I'm sorry, you downgraded your goalkeeper in a significant way from whatever comment. Sometimes I look at this and I say, if you had Safonov and Chevalier in goal together at the same time, you'd be worse off than where you were last season with Donnarumma. So
yeah, that's not the main reason why they're not playing well. Not because Donnarumma is not in goal.
But Donnarumma was a big part of the reason why they won it last year.
Yeah.
So
the problem is they won't win it this year because they don't play well.
But I'm saying is you have to play even better because you don't have that safety blanket.
But even if they, they can't get near the level that they showed last season, which is a shame, really.
Although all that said, and I don't want to be contrarian here, other than Arsenal, and you can say Bayern and City are ahead of them, and they probably are, but they're not streets ahead of them, and they're also capable of laying an egg.
True. What stuff in Turin, Gab, after the 5-2 humiliation in the first leg away in Turkey against Galatasaray. Juventus get it back to 5-5 on aggregate before conceding 2 goals in extra time. One of them from your boy Victor Osimhen.
Who doesn't celebrate? So I'll celebrate for him.
Yeah.
The best is yet to come. Like you want a reaction, and they got it.
Yeah.
And I think this was so important. Again, there's 5 games without winning. Like I told you on Monday, they weren't that bad in all of those 5 games as people made it out to be, like the sky was falling. They were terrible against Galatasaray away. They were terrible against Como. Here they went out there and they showed that they could execute. The XG was more than 5.0. And you can say you need to put your chances away. Fine. Hey, you need to put your chances away.
Zagrova especially.
I sign wingers from Ligue 1 and Jeremy Boga and Zagrova. That's the path to happiness. Kenan Yildiz, unplayable. And what they did with 10 men, they played with 10 men for the entire second half practically, and extra time. Yeah. Don Hutchinson on commentary made the point sort of towards the end. The momentum was with them towards the ends of regular time. You guys need to go and try to win this. And they tried, and they tried, and they tried. Couldn't get it done. Got to ask you, the Lloyd Kelly red card, harsh?
I understand that the controversy and how harsh it is, but referees don't look if he means it or doesn't, if he sees or not, if he's looking or not. It's a reckless incident, which it is, even if he doesn't mean it, even if he doesn't know that the leg is there, it has to be a red card.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
Atalanta turn it around against Borussia Dortmund, winning 4-1 after losing the first leg 2-0. Gab, the last-ditch penalty, Rami Bensebaini on Nikola Kristovic was key.
Okay, so a couple of points to make here. One is Borussia Dortmund. Let's all laugh like that. Their self-destruction. They did it again.
Yeah,
right. And
completely.
That said, a lot of this is down to one person, Rami Bensebaini.
Shocker. One of the worst individual performances I've ever seen in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Incredibly bad.
All right. In the end, Frank Leboeuf on the show last night said that should have never been a penalty at the end, Bensebaini on Nikola Kristovic.
How is this not a penalty? He literally cut his head off.
Because his Kristovic's head was low, Frank said.
No.
Okay. Maybe it was the defender.
We both agree, right? We both agree it's a red card every single day.
100%.
He could have killed him, literally.
Yeah. And Kristovic is obviously a very brave man, made from sterner stuff.
I think Kristovic doesn't even think that that's what Bensebaini could do, you know.
Well, also because Bensebaini's in the wrong position. He misreads the flight of the ball.
Yeah.
And that's why he has to do, it looked like he was trying to do a scorpion kick,
like
an homage to Giroud.
He probably doesn't know Kristovic is there, but still, it is.
I think it's
every day.
It's dangerous play. I think we need to give a shout out to Atalanta too, because Atalanta's best midfielder, Ederson, in my view, he was injured. I mean, he was on the bench, but he's injured, not fit to start. And they were also without the Prince, Charles de Ketelaere.
Yeah, they lost Lookman in January.
They lost Lookman and his replacement, Raspadori, wasn't eligible for this game. So you put all those things together, it was a tremendous, tremendous performance. Roll on, Atalanta. Bayer Leverkusen are held at home by Olympiacos 0-0, but it's okay because they advanced thanks to their 2-0 win in the first leg, Jules.
Yeah, it was enough. I mean, this was a poor game. I think Olympiacos could have tried and played for 10 hours. They would have never scored, really. They were never in that kind of position. Well-controlled game for Julien and his players, and already looking forward to the last 16. It would be Arsenal or Bayern for them in the draw tomorrow. Imagine a Bayern game, which I think would be cool. But yeah, nothing much more to add, I think.
You don't need to imagine it. I saw it last year, and it wasn't cool.
Yeah, true.
Bayern mullered them.